Welcome back to the Tulane Dynasty, as today we can figure out, are we going to respond after that heartbreaking loss to Duke in the season opener? And we're going to find out right away as Tulane comes home for their home opener against the South Alabama Jaguars, who are coming off a red-hot start in Week 1, led by quarterback senior Bishop Davenport, who threw for 271 yards and 2 touchdowns, while only throwing 48% completion, so that's something to monitor during this game. They have a tandem at running back, 2 juniors, Keenan Phillips, who had 130 yards and a touchdown in the first game, and actually New Orleans native P.J. Martin, who had 87 yards and 4 touchdowns in Week 1. On the outsides are led by 2 very similar wide receivers, Michael Woods, who had 8 catches for 118 yards and a touchdown, and Anthony Eager, who had 4 catches for 54 yards and a touchdown. So we'll see if this Tulane defense, led by Jack Chichu and Dickinson Agu, can be able to slow down the offense. And we'll see if Mendoza can have a better showing from Week 1, as he threw for 210 yards and a touchdown in the rain. So we'll see if he can get the ball out to Destin Hill and Anthony Brown-Stevens a little bit more. Hopefully the weather cooperates, and also we got to lower the ball. The best player in offense, got to get him a couple more touches. So we'll see what the Green Wave do in their home opener. And we are off here at Yulman Stadium, as Tulane's defense will take the field first and try slowing down this red-hot South Alabama offense here to start Week 2. And they're led by, I mentioned before, Keenan Phillips, who had 130 yards and a touchdown in Week 1. Opening play of the game as Davenport gets the troops going. And right to Phillips to start the game. He breaks outside, and a good gain of about almost 20 there to start. And after Nate Shepard and Duke ran all over Tulane's defense, we'll see if South Alabama wants to do the same, as he sends a guy in motion here. Play action to Phillips over the middle to the tight end, and another big gain, about 15 yards there. And South Alabama is hurrying to the line and catching this Tulane defense a little bit sluggish to start this opening drive. Another run to Phillips up the middle, and they are just gashing Tulane's defense, as he already has 26 yards on 2 carries. 2nd and 9 here now. Davenport sends the tight end in motion, and it's another hand up to Phillips, and he breaks to the outside. He could go, but he is stopped there by Chichu around the 12-yard line, and we'll see if Tulane can gather the troops here on this opening drive. Not a good start after that ending to Duke last week. Davenport sends another man in motion, takes a snap, hands it back off to Phillips, and he is stopped by Dixon Agu, as a needed stop there on 1st and 10. Brings us to 2nd and 8 as Davenport fires up the middle, and it is caught, reaches out for the goal line, but he is short at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal, South Alabama. And it's a flip out wide, but that is stopped almost immediately, as it brings us to 2nd and goal, and we'll see if Tulane's defense can toughen up here and hold them to at least a field goal, as Hughes gets into the backfield and has a massive tackle for loss here, which will bring the Jaguars 3rd and goal, and it would be crucial to get points here if you're South Alabama going on the road here. Man in motion to the left, it's a fake. Davenport up the middle, he jumps, but he's stopped by Zamar Shrine at the 1-inch line. And it looks like South Alabama is going to roll the dice early here and try going for the touchdown as they line up with one in the backfield, and it looks like it's Martin back there instead of Phillips. Excuse me, it's Phillips. Davenport takes the ball, throws it down the middle, and it is dropped in the end zone. Tulane's defense gets a hold after a lot of bending, but they do not break, and it's time for Somoza and Tulane offense to see what they can do to start this game off, as the defense saved them there. 1st and 10 from their own 1-yard line. Somoza takes the ball, hands it off to McClure, and he gets at least a little bit to not be so far back in the end zone as it sets up 2nd and 3 here. Tight end in motion. Somoza takes the snap. It's a fake to McClure, and he rolls out and just dumps it to his tight end. A very similar play to what they started off last week with, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. And they're going right into the hurry up. They tend to do this after getting a first down. See if they can catch the defense by surprise here. And it's another fake to McClure. Somoza rolls out to his left. Will send one down the field and is caught. Nope, he got smoked and ended up dropping it, as that brings it to 2nd and 10 with already a little under 3 minutes left in this first quarter for the Green Wave. Somoza to Hill, a good pickup, about 3, but that's going to be a long 3rd down, 3rd and 7 here now. And we'll see if they can keep this drive going. Somoza drops back, fires it out wide, and that's Hill with a spin move, but does not matter. He still gets the first down, as Tulane now getting a drive going. A handoff McClure up the middle. He has some room, a juke, and breaks away for around 20 yards, as see if Tulane can capitalize on the momentum they've got this drive. Come out with one in the backfield, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and we'll see what they end up doing to fake the McClure. Somoza rolls out, and he gets drilled. An early sack to stop the momentum, as South Alabama needed that, and Somoza looks almost a little shaken up as his first big hit of the game for him here. Brings us to 2nd and 16, and we'll see if they can get some momentum back here. Somoza throws it deep, and Hill catches it. No, he is knocked away at the last second. That would have been huge. That would have got him within the red zone. And now, instead of 3rd and manageable, it is now 3rd and 16 for the Green Wave. See what they can dial up here. 3rd and way long. Somoza takes the snap, drops back. Will fire one over the middle, and it is incomplete to Daniels, as that was a risky pass, and that will lead us to the next drive, a 3rd and 2 for South Alabama here. Davenport takes the snap, hands off to Phillips, and it looked like he was going to be stopped at the line, but he bursts through and gets the first down, and that will be the end of the first quarter. A pretty low-scoring quarter, as the running backs have been kind of the only offense here, as Phillips having the head-to-head on McClure so far, and it makes sense. They've had the ball a little bit more. So we go now, start of the second quarter. It's a 3rd and 7 for Davenport. Drops back, gets smoked, but gets it out, and he is just short around midfield. And it looks like South Alabama's keeping the offense on the field, as they are playing aggressive ball here early, as they were less than a foot away from picking that up on their own 47, and it's a hand up to Phillips, and he gets it, as that will move the chains. But again here, 3rd and 6, past midfield now for the Jaguars. Davenport goes back, doesn't find anyone open, and Agu with the timely almost sack, but breaks up the pass, and that will give the Green Wave the football back here. And now at their own 12-yard line, they got a 3rd and 7 as Somoza drops back. Doesn't see anyone open, so he takes off and picks up the first down for about a gain of 12, as, again, he can do that. He's not going to break away with his speed, but when it's there, he can take it, as it's 1st and 10 now for the Green Wave. Looks like they're audibling. Somoza drops it out to Hill. Hill takes it to the outside, hurdles a guy, and he almost broke away there. And he is the dynamic playmaker that this Green Wave offense has needed through these first 2 games. And a hurry up will lead us 1st and 10. around the 40-yard line for Tulane. Somoza fakes it to McClure, steps up in the pocket, fires a dart down the middle, and guess who? It's Hill. 5, 10, and that will be a touchdown. Somoza to Hill, and we'll be probably saying that a lot this year as Hill has been electric here early, as that was an absolute missile fired down the seam, and Destin Hill does the rest. They're not going to catch him after he catches it in between two defenders. What were they doing? You got to have more coverage on him. The LSU transfer that they acquired in the portal looks to be paying dividends early. 7-0 Green Wave as South Alabama now will take the ball. 3rd and 5 now. Davenport drops back, a fake screen, and he'll throw it deep down the middle, and he looked like it was a broken coverage. Kevin Adams, the third, with a touchdown saving tackle there, and South Alabama is hurrying to the line. Getting the play call from the sideline here. Davenport takes the snap, hands it off Phillips, and guess who? Dixon Agu with the TFL as he's been all over the field early, and it will lead it to a 3rd and 8 here for South Alabama. The play fake out wide, and Agu again. He has been electric. Already 4 tackle for losses here in the first half. As 2nd and 8 now here for the Green Wave as Somoza again tucks it and run. No one open, and he'll pick up about 15 there as he has done damage so far in this first half with his legs. Typically not something he was known for. And they're hurrying to the line, trying to gain some momentum here before the end of the half with a little over a minute left. Somoza calling some audibles. Takes the snap, drops back, rolls out to his right. Tries firing it downfield, but he gets hit again. Because he got to be careful when he's running that much and not sliding. Taking those extra hits are going to be adding up for him. 2nd and 10 now here. 1:07 left. As it's a flip out to Anthony Brown-Stevens, and he picks up about 7 to make it a 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 3 coming up here for the Green Wave. Just a tad over a minute left, and we'll see if the Tulane can add to this lead before going into half. Somoza hands up McClure, and he will barely get the first down as he got caught up on the lineman there as it brings a 3rd and 6 here with 30 seconds left. Somoza takes the snap. Looked like he had someone open over the middle, and he throws it deep, and it's intercepted. Oh, you cannot do that as he might return this all the way. Nope, he is stopped around the 50-yard line as I know Coach Zoms is going to be livid on the sidelines as Somoza had it looked like Anthony Brown-Stevens wide open on a drag route. Could have picked up 15 to 20 yards, and they will be going into halftime only up 7. I understand wanting to take a deep shot to Hill, but when you're double covered, you're double covered. As we got some good games brewing around the country as Texas is up 7 on Ohio State, as it looks like Arch Manning's having himself a good first half. We'll see how that one plays out. Some other games, we got Georgia Tech up by 7 on Tennessee. Missouri put a beating on Kansas. As we'll go back to our game, and it's been kind of a sloppy game. The offense for Tulane has had some drives that just haven't turned out well, but Tulane's defense has been playing lights out after that opening drive that was almost a touchdown. But since then, South Alabama really hasn't been able to get anything going. And for Tulane, I think the game plan is simple. You feed Destin Hill as much as you can. Try to get a little better lead as he already has 95 yards, a touchdown on 4 catches. And a question still remains, can Tulane get this run game going? Their best offensive player has not had a day as the rain starts coming down at Yulman Stadium here in New Orleans. With a 3rd and 6 to start off the second half as Somoza drops back, fires it over the middle, and it's Hill again as he gets right around the 45-yard line. And some injuries here, and it looks like it's the left tackle, Green, going down. As we'll see if that will affect the offense going forward as it is 2nd and 7 now. Somoza takes the snap, nowhere to go, and he gets drilled. And he's grabbing his sternum area, and it looks like he is actually going to be going into the medical tent. Not a good sign early, so we'll see if Zion Chris can do what he thinks he can do, as he lost the starting job, but here we go. This is his chance. 3rd and 14, not an ideal way to start, as it's going to be a speed option out to the left, a pitch to McClure, and he tries getting around the corner and cannot. But keep that in mind. Let's see if Somoza can get back on this field, but the whole offense kind of changes with Zion in, and 1st and 10 after a great punt by Tulane. It is a quick play action and a pickup of about 15, and there we go again as Gene saves a touchdown, as a play action has been working to start this drive, and it's kind of reminiscent of South Alabama's opening drive of the game. Driving down the field with ease and a couple plays as they got 1st and 10 here now from around the 35-yard line. Davenport signaling out right and left. See what they draw up. Takes a snap, hands off, and it's Martin who gets stopped. Goes backwards as a goo pushed him back. Ended up losing yards. 2nd and 11 now. Davenport over the middle, and it's caught, and that's going to be a 1st down. 3rd and 7 now here. Davenport scrambling around. Looks like he had someone in it. It is caught in the end zone as Chris Rogers lets up a touchdown with decent coverage, but he is not a coverage guy. He's a guy you want to send after the quarterback, so interesting to see him in coverage there as Everett Hunter, the tight end, who's been having a heck of a day, holds on to this ball in some wet conditions nonetheless, as that will tie this game up at 7. And good thing for the Green Wave as Somoza is back in this ball game. He takes the snap, fires a short pass to his tight end, picks up 2, but stays ahead of the change, as that's been kind of the importance in this Tulane offense, trying to get things going. As Somoza drops back, will tuck it and run, and he will not slide, and oh my God, hit again and going back to the medical tent, as he needs to learn to get down, especially when he's beaten up a little bit, as Zion will come back on the field, and we'll see what he can do for this Green Wave offense, who has not had too much to write home about, as a juke move will pick up. No, he's just short, but an electric scramble there for Zion, and that's what changes when he is in the game for this offense, as they're hurrying it up to the line, trying to gain some momentum here at the end of the 3rd quarter. Step drop back pass, and it's fired out to Hill, who makes a good coverage catch. Not a high percentage play there, but it still does the job and moves the chains for Tulane. There's another hurry up here. Zion motioning. Anthony Brown-Steven comes to the right. Looks like it's read option, and he keeps it. And I'm not sure either read there was going to be correct, as that puts him behind for a 3rd and 13. Zion has a lot of time, fires it deep, and it is picked, as it looked like someone was open. He did not see that DB waiting there for the interception, as South Alabama takes over again. 1st and 10. Davenport with all the time, running out of time, finds a wide receiver, as he had about 4 seconds to decide what he wanted to do with it, and that will lead us into the 4th quarter, tied up 7. As we'll see if this Tulane defense can bend and not break again, as it's 3rd and inches, and it's a huge TFL for McAllister, and they needed that, as South Alabama will line up to take the lead here with a field goal. It's snapped, kicked, and he pushed it to the right, as Tulane has had incredible field goal luck on defense this year so far. Zion motioning Lewis in motion, and he gets the jet sweep, a cut up field, and it looked like if he cut it to the outside, that could have been an even bigger gain, but it will move the chains nonetheless. 1st and 10 here now. Zion rolls out to his right, fires it over the middle, and he had his tight end wide open and just missed him. It'll be 3rd and 5 now. Zion motioning the crowd to calm down a little bit. You can't hear as McClure breaks a tackle, but it's not enough. What is the Green Wave going to do on 4th and 2 around midfield? See if they end up punting it, playing the field position game, or if they want to play the gamble. Their defense has bailed them out multiple times today, but how many times can they bend without breaking? As it looks like they're going to gamble. 4th and 2. Bunch out to the right, Takes a snap. Another read option, and he gives it to McClure, and he gets smoked before taking a step. But the defense will force a 3rd and 6 here now as Davenport throws it out. And he had him short of the line. He breaks another tackle. And he broke 3 tackles there to get him within the 30-yard line, as it looked like South Alabama was going to have a 4th and 1. And that brings us to a 3rd and 5. And it's handoff up the middle to Martin. And it is 4th and 3. And we'll see if they want to gamble again. And they do not. We'll see if this kicker will push it one more time here. See if Tulane can get off easy. And they do not. As it makes Tulane down 3 with under 2 minutes left. We'll see if Zion can lead a little comeback here for the Green Wave, as he just tucks it and runs and gets it to 2nd and 5. Didn't see anyone open. We'll keep the offense moving ahead of the chains here. 2nd and 5 now. A little dump off to McClure, who picks up the first down and takes a licking for it. And again, hurry up for Tulane. Takes the snap, drops back, dumps it to McClure, who had room in front of him, but a good play by that defensive end to shed the block and tackle McClure right at the point of reception. As Zion, again, will tuck it and run, and he has room and picks up the first down, a gain of around 17, and he is hyped, as he should be. That's probably one of his best plays today, and we'll see if they can capitalize on that momentum. Sends tight end in motion. McClure gets the handoff, cuts it back up the middle. A tough run, as he's been running hard, but not much to write home about. And he looks a little shaken up after that hit. We'll see if he can stay on the field. And he does. And Zion now, 2nd and 4th with 45 seconds left. Sends Lewis in motion. It's a fake to McClure, dump out, and stop for a loss of 5. And that will bring on 3rd and long, as everyone's starting to get battled up here. 3rd and 9, 27 seconds left. See what they can do. They have all 3 timeouts. Zion throws over the middle, and it is, I don't even know, dropped. 2 men running similar routes and went off one of them, as South Alabama will ice the kicker. And this is going to be another backbreaker if Tulane cannot get this field goal in. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it is right down the uprights, as this game is all tied up, and that will end up sending us to overtime. If you thought week 1 was exciting, Tulane going into overtime here in week 2. And here are the overtime rules. 2nd overtime, 2-point conversion must be attempted, and then after that, we'll be alternating 2-point conversions until a winner is decided, and we will see how long this will go. As South Alabama can call it here, and they win. So it looks like Tulane will start on offense here in the first overtime. And no word on if Somoza is returning or not. I guess we're just going to have to see at the start of this overtime. And it will be Chris leading them out. Had a decent drive there. Looked like they could have picked up that first down at the end of the regulation. As he takes the read option, tucks it and runs, and gets about 4 yards. Keeping the offense ahead of the chains is huge, especially when it's do or die time here in overtime. So Chris doing some audibles, takes the snap, a little pump fake, and will just drop it down to his tight end, who looked like for a second he was going to break the tackle. But it will be 3rd and 4 now for this Green Wave offense. And you can't do anything stupid. A field goal doesn't kill you, but a turnover certainly does, as it's a fake to McClure. Zion will scramble, throw it up, And just what we were talking about, dropped by the DB, and that would have been a backbreaker for this Green Wave team. Trying to force the ball to Hill, and it is barely dropped by that defender in the end zone. So, back to where we were at the end of the fourth quarter. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it sneaks through that right upright as Tulane will take the lead here in the first overtime, 13-10, and now it's South Alabama's turn, and we'll see if this defense can make another stand. Davenport coming out as they have two tight ends to the right, and it looks like Martin's in the backfield here. Tight end in motion. And they fake it to Martin, put it back out to the tight end, and he gets stuffed for a tackle in the backfield as that makes it 2nd and 11 here. As we'll see if Tulane can force something crazy. 2nd and 11, Davenport takes the snap, throws it out to the left as it is a gain of about 4, 3rd and 7 here, and we'll see if Tulane defense can force a turnover or at least a field goal here. 3rd and 7. Man in motion. Davenport takes the snap, fakes it to the man in motion, has all the time in the world, and is smoked as it looked like if he did not get him in the backfield there, that could have possibly been a touchdown in the game as Tulane will ice South Alabama's kicker here. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it looks like it is going to be good as double overtime we go here in Yulman Stadium, New Orleans. South Alabama will be on offense first, and we'll see if Tulane can force another field goal and win it with a touchdown, or go touchdown to touchdown. Here we go, 1st and 10. Davenport, who's been having a strong game, takes the snap, drops back, didn't find too many people open, and throws it down to the flat, and it's knocked away. That will bring 2nd and 10 here for the South Alabama offense. Two tight end set. Davenport takes a snap, drops back, throws it over to the left, and Hughes is there, and it looked like he was going to knock that away, but it brings up a 3rd and 3, and we'll see if the defense can make a stop here and force a field goal. Again, coming out, and the two tight end says it looks like they might try running this ball up the middle. Davenport fakes out wide, and it is stopped. 4th and 2 as Gene made a great play to force this field goal as Tulane will ice them yet again. The kicker's been having a up and down day for this Jaguar squad, so we'll see what he dials up in double overtime here. The snap, the hold, the kick, and he sneaks it through. Might have been an exaggeration, but definitely with the kicker that's already missed a couple today. As it is Zion's time and this Tulane's offense time to go. A touchdown here wins it. A field goal sends it in the triple overtime and a 2-point conversion battle. Single tight end set here. 3 wide receivers. As it's a fake to McClure. Zion scrambles but gets it to the tight end. Up the middle, makes a cut. And a good play to get it at the 10-yard line as Tulane's offense is in business here. 10 yards for a victory. As they come out, single tight end, 2 on the right, and it's a handoff from McClure up the middle. He's had room, and it's a fumble. But it looks like Tulane will retain possession. And a booth review anyways, I'm guessing they're just going to check the spot of this ball if he was down or if he wasn't. But either way, I don't think it makes too much of a difference here. And now we got 2nd and 5. as they can still get a first down at the goal line, but they don't want a first down. They want a touchdown. As it's a fake, rolling out to the right. Zion looking, no one open. Will go towards the pylon, and he scores! Zion scores! Tulane wins this game in double overtime as injuries do not fault the Green Wave, as backup Zion Chris will get the job done here at Yulman Stadium, and Tulane will improve to 1-1 on the year, and that was needed. As you see him now rolling out, didn't find anyone open, just decides to tuck it and beeline it for that pylon, and what a game for Zion. Gotta feel good after losing that QB battle to come in and lead his team to victory when he was needed. As what a win. As Moses hype, he might not be too injured, but celebrating with his team. It's a good culture check as a 16-19 victory. And what a needed bounce back after that heartbreaker, as Destin Hill having a career day here with 6 catches, 135 yards, and that touchdown in the first half as well, as a heartbreaker for South Alabama. But nonetheless, the Green Wave get it done. And a needed victory, as that would have been back-to-back heartbreaking losses for Tulane. Looking at the box score, Samoza with a good box score before leaving early with 151 yards, a touchdown, and that pick. Zion have 58 yards and the interception. Could have had an interception in overtime too, as McClure only 68 yards on the ground. Again, we mentioned Hill. On defense, Adams with 13, Agu with 11, and 4 TFLs all coming in the first half. Jack Chichu adds another double-digit tackle game to his resume. And we'll see what the Green Wave can carry that momentum into next week as they go on the road to face a tough Kansas State, Avery Johnson-led squad.